Now, in this video, we are going to get into the good stuff, and that is actually working with the Chrome extension. But before we get it working, the first thing we need to do is we need to connect the Chrome extension to OpenAI's system. So we are going to need to put in our OpenAI API key that we got in the earlier video. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste it in here. So it may be a long number, so do make sure you put the whole number in here. And then what you can do then from the little drop down menu is you can select which model you want to use. So as you can see here, we have the 4.0 mini, which is fast and it's the cheapest. And then we have the 4.0, which quality is a bit higher. And then we have the next step up from that, which is the 4.1 mini. Now, if you may be worried about cost, well, I'm here to tell you that the cost using this tool is pennies, if that. But if you are maybe a little bit cautious and you're worried about how much it's going to cost for every time you use a tool, I would recommend that you just use the mini here, which is fast and it's the cheapest option. So we're going to save that now. So any request we make of OpenAI will be using the 4.0 mini version. So I'm going to click on that now, and you will get this pop-up that will say that everything is okay. But if we want to test our key before we start working, just to make sure everything is connected properly, we'll click on that, and there it goes. So it's telling us now that the key works and that we are connected now to OpenAI. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to my Substack, which is called the Reigniter Substack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can actually use this tool yourself with either your own content or other people's content. Now in this case here, I'm just going to simply use my own piece of content. And what we're going to do is we are going to get our little tool opened up. Now, if you do need to get into the options to maybe put back in the API key, or if you want to select another option, just click on the little gear wheel and then it'll open up a new tab, and then you get back to the options page again. So if we just go back here again and click on it. So as you can see here, we have our text box, which explains what we're going to do. We need to paste our post in here. And then what it'll do is it's going to send this message over to OpenAI. And what it's going to do, it's going to give us subtopics, it's going to give us blind spots, and it's going to give us future ideas. Now, what the subtopics button will do is it will take the article that we're about to give it, and it's going to go deeper on it. It's going to take this main topic and it's going to go for the topics below that topic. So for example, if somebody was buying a dog, that would be kind of a main topic. Well, the subtopic will be below that would be something like how do you take care of the dog? How do you feed the dog? How do you exercise a dog? Those are kind of topics below that. So that what it'll do is it'll take our article and it will break it down to the subtopics. Now, the next button here is blind spots. Now, no matter how good a piece of content is, there will be information left out, maybe new information that we've come to know since that article was written, or something's changed. So no matter how good an article or piece of content you create, there will be things that you don't know that you've left out or just didn't have time to put in the piece of content. So what the tool will do is it will analyze the piece of content and it'll find or come up with blind spots you may have left out, or maybe didn't even think of talking about, where you can go back again with another piece of content and you can cover all those points. Now in this case here, we're looking at the future idea button, and what that will do is it'll look at the piece of content and it'll kind of project off in the future. This person who's reading this piece of content today, what will they need to know about next week? What will they need to know about next month or next year? And what it does is it takes your piece of content and kind of just jumps on in the future a little bit. So it's kind of giving you future ideas so that you'll always be able to put almost like a line of breadcrumbs for the person to follow along to do whatever they need to do. So that is the subtopics, the blind spots, and the future ideas. And in the next video, we are going to work with this Substack post, and I'm going to show you what the tool does and what information it brings back to us.